There was a time in my early years when I believed that success was something mysterious, something that belonged only to a special category of people who somehow woke up every morning with a sense of certainty, a sense of destiny, a sense that life had shaken hands with them and whispered, "You are chosen." But as I grew older and met more people who had done extraordinary things, I discovered something surprising. I learned that the people who achieved the most were not always the ones with the most talent, or the biggest dreams, or the loudest declarations. They were usually the ones who mastered one simple, old-fashioned habit. They woke up and went to work, not once in a while, not when it was convenient, not when motivation was high, but every morning, long before the world applauded them, long before anyone believed in them, they worked. I remember meeting an older gentleman who shared a story that stayed with me for years. He told me, "Young man, every achievement I've ever built was born in the dark hours when no one was watching." He said he used to wake up before sunrise, not because he enjoyed losing sleep, but because he understood that if he didn't design his life before the world woke up, the world would design it for him. He told me there was something sacred about the early morning, the silence, the clarity, the opportunity to think before distractions wake up and start knocking on your mind like impatient visitors. He said, "If you want your life to change, adjust your morning, and your mornings will adjust your destiny." That man's words hit me deeply because I had spent so much time envying people's results instead of understanding their routines, admiring their achievements, but ignoring the hours they invested that nobody ever talked about. For years, we hear people say things like, "He's so lucky," "She just found the right opportunity," "They were born gifted," but nobody asks, how many mornings did they wake up when they didn't feel like it? How many hours did they practice when they didn't want to? How many times did they choose discipline over comfort? And so I realized that if I wanted change, I needed to stop measuring my dreams by how big they were and start measuring them by how much work I was willing to give every single day. Let me tell you a story about a young man named Daniel. He was full of dreams. Big dreams. He wanted to be successful, respected, capable, someone who built a future he could be proud of. But he had a problem. Every night he made big promises, and every morning he broke them. He would say, "Tomorrow I'll start earlier. Tomorrow I'll work harder. Tomorrow I'll change everything." But tomorrow always arrived wearing the same excuses as yesterday. One day he realized he had been living inside a loop of plans with no action. He went to an older mentor and asked him, "Why can't I achieve what I say I want?" The mentor looked at him and said, "Because you've been living your life on delay mode. You've convinced yourself that your future will wait for you. But the truth is, your future is impatient. Your potential is impatient, and your dreams are getting tired of waiting." Those words shook him. That night, he didn't just set an alarm, he set an intention. When the alarm rang at 5 a.m., he wanted to ignore it like every other morning. But something told him, if you don't get up now, everything you want will remain a story you tell yourself instead of a reality you build. He got up, even though he was tired, even though he didn't feel inspired, and that morning changed everything. Not because the sunrise was magical, but because he finally kept a promise to himself. Day after day, he woke up early, not trying to win the world in one day, but simply trying to win the morning. And little by little, his life began to transform. His confidence grew, not because of applause or compliments, but because he finally saw that he had control over himself. And the moment you control yourself, you begin controlling your future. Within months, Daniel became sharper, stronger, more disciplined, more capable. People began to notice. They started saying, "He's changed, he's more focused, he's doing something different." But none of them saw the early mornings. None of them saw the inner battles. None of them saw the days he forced himself to work even when his motivation was at zero. They only saw the results, not the roots. This story holds a truth we all must learn. Achievement does not come from the grand moments, the big speeches, or the big promises. Achievement comes from the quiet hours, the consistent effort, the mornings when you wake up and go to work, even when you feel like doing anything but that. Life rewards the worker, not the dreamer. Dreams are free. Discipline is sold separately. If you want to achieve anything meaningful, you must wake up and go to work long before your achievements show up. Because success is slow to introduce itself. It watches you first. It observes your habits, your consistency, your resilience. It waits to see if you are the kind of person who deserves the rewards you speak of. And only then does it knock on your door. You see, most people are waiting for motivation, but motivation is unreliable. It's emotional. It comes and goes. But discipline, now that's that's something different. Discipline is the ability to wake up and work regardless of how you feel. And the people who build extraordinary lives are the ones who don't negotiate with themselves every morning. They decide once, and then they honor that decision daily. If you ever feel lost or behind in life, don't try to fix your entire future in one day. Fix your morning, because the morning is the foundation on which the rest of your life is built. And when you start your day with intention, focus, and effort, the rest of your day begins to follow that direction like a well-trained soldier following orders. One morning of discipline won't change your life, but a year of mornings will. Can you imagine what your life would look like if you committed to waking up and working every day for the next 12 months? Not perfectly, not flawlessly, but consistently. You would be unrecognizable. Not because life magically becomes easier, but because you become stronger, sharper, and more capable of handling everything life throws at you. Remember this truth: you cannot sleep your way to your dreams. You cannot wait your way to achievement. You cannot hope your way to excellence. You must build, you must work, you must act, and you must wake up with the understanding that every day is another opportunity to move closer to the future you want. Wake up and work, not because life is easy, but because you are capable. Wake up and work, not because success is guaranteed, but because success becomes inevitable when you become consistent. Wake up and work, not because the world is watching, but because the future version of you is depending on the decisions you are making today. And the moment you realize that your achievements are connected directly to your daily habits, your entire life begins to take a new shape. Success is not hidden behind luck, talent, or opportunity. It is hidden behind repeated effort, and every morning gives you a chance to unlock a piece of that success. The world rewards the person who wakes up and works long before results appear. Achievements are not built in big moments, but in daily discipline. If you control your mornings, you will control your life. Wake up, work hard, and your future will rise to match your effort.